Hi, my name is Lucas Schatz, and I play soccer. Yeah, I mean, growing up, I was always a super energetic kid. My parents always complain about me waking up really early and like needing to be entertained. Um, so I like wake up. My dad tells a story about how I used to wake up like super early, like 6 a.m. or so, and he'd be sitting on the couch, and I'd just be like kind of bothering him, and then he'd throw a ball, and like go and get it and bring it back from the throat again, kind of like a dog almost. It was like when I was really young. Um, but yeah, always like really energetic kid, kind of bouncing all over the place. I'd say like I was not very good sitting still. I've always loved like anything with the ball in it. Um, it's hard for me to just like leave a ball alone. So I think yeah, from a young age I started like playing sports as a way to kind of get my energy out, but also specifically anything with the ball really like interested me. I'm not sure why, but anything, yeah, any sport with the ball was really my favorite. Yeah, I mean, what I really love about soccer is how much like real time decision making you do. I think a lot of other sports have kind of set plays, or you'll have a lot of what you're doing kind of outlined to you. Like football, you're running a route. Um, basketball, like we're running a set play or whatever. Like I screen here. Soccer is very much like improvisation. So much of the game is different. Like every game you watch, every decision that people are making, it's different. So I like the kind of variance and then just how much thinking goes into playing the sport as well. So yeah, I think soccer. What it's done for me is I'm more of a quiet person, but it's really helped me grow socially. Um, so like of course giving me people I'm interacting with every day. Like I think especially during like coming back from COVID and everything, having a soccer team like in practice and people that I'm hanging out with every single day, pretty much was really helpful for me to just like I don't know get used to speaking to people again and like being around people. Really helped me like learn how to socialize and kind of just be like a normal human being in terms of social interaction. But yeah, I think soccer has done a great job of just introducing me a lot of different people and I made a lot of friends in soccer. So yeah, yeah. I mean, for me personally, soccer has always been fun. I've never had a bad time playing soccer, but I think it's the stuff that goes around it that has kind of made me at times become a little bit like less like enjoying the sport less. Like I think a lot of kind of what happens with a lot of competitive sports is you're competing for like playing time or this and that, and like um, you know, the team environment gets to be like a lot more toxic or competitive when sports become like more intense or get to like elite level or whatever. Um, so I always find myself when I'm playing, I'm having fun, but what's not fun about it is more if you have a coach who's bad or a teammate. I think the things around soccer make it sometimes more difficult to play rather than the actual game. I've still enjoyed it, but there's definitely been times, especially like in the last few years, where I've kind of questioned like, why am I playing this sport? Like, am I really having fun anymore? But usually, what gets me back is just like playing, not necessarily like in a club environment, but just like when I'm playing for fun, I remember that like I really love the sport and like I don't know what I do without it. But it's just sometimes when you get caught up in these like really competitive moments and everyone around you is super like trying to get ahead, like it's kind of not as fun. Yeah, I mean, personally, I'm a pretty like anxious person, I'd say, and so I've struggled a lot with kind of performance anxiety. If that makes sense. So I think there's a lot of pressure from, like, especially during the recruiting process, like from parents, from every game you're playing, like your coach is expecting you to do well. There's a pressure to perform, especially as someone for a while. Like I was not a core member of my team, so really fighting for a spot makes it really difficult to play. Like every second that you get, which is not you're not playing as much if you're not a starter. Really fighting for every moment. Like in practice, you have to play well. There's a lot of pressure to play well just every day, and that kind of I struggled with that for a while. Um, but I mean, it's something I'm working on, and I'm learning to like kind of move past. But I think it's definitely still there. But yeah, that's been my biggest struggle personally. Yeah, I mean, I really love the people that I've met through playing. Like, although at times like my teammates and coaches can be a little bit, mean or kind of toxic. I think I love the people that I've met through soccer, and I think it's really unique in that the people that I've met through like my current team, I don't think I ever would have met if I hadn't been playing soccer. Like, so one of my best friends on my team is from Oakland, and like we're in very different kind of just areas in terms of like I go to private school. He doesn't. He also lives in Oakland. Like it's so far. I never would have met this guy, but we're like really good friends. And I think without soccer, I wouldn't be able to make these kind of relationships. And so yeah, I think being able to play with people like that and meet people through soccer, I think is a lot of what has kept me playing. Besides, of course, liking the sport. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I played basketball for a while, so up until probably ninth grade, I was playing both sports. But then it got to a point where I didn't have the time to do both. So um, that's kind of, I'd say, the main sacrifice for soccer, but also just the time commitment. So I haven't really been able to do maybe other extracurriculars that I'm interested in just because I practice like every day and games on the weekends. Also, like some social stuff too. Like I've definitely, there's been like Friday nights where I don't go out because I have games in the next morning or stuff like that. So yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of what soccer has done like is the social aspect. So being able to like collaborate with the team and kind of approach struggles like that um, with that mindset, I think has been very helpful. Or something I've taken from soccer. Like at the end of the day, it's a team game, and it's really impossible to play soccer as an individual. It's 11 players on any team, and you're all working toward the same goal. So yeah, being able to collaborate with people, especially people who are very different from me, like come from different social economic backgrounds and live in different places and do different stuff every day, like being able to come together and like work toward a shared goal. I think, yeah, being able to collaborate with others has been something I've really like learned from soccer. It's been very helpful. I think it's kind of a hard one. I think there's probably two main um, periods I think of. I think probably my junior year, like just going through recruiting everything, probably like one of the more stressful times of my life. Just being able to like work through that, and then I think a big part of that was like learning how to ask for help. So like talking to my coaches, how can I get better, and being like okay with not, you know, with like struggling and being able to overcome that adversity and stuff like that. So I think a lot of that, what that time has helped me with, is just learning how to get through stuff and use the help of others. I think the other time I think of is just like kind of when I started playing, just because that was kind of what got me into sports. Like soccer was one of the first things I started playing when I was really young. I think I was like 6 or so. It's like first like organized sport I play. It kind of really got me um, into sports. Which yeah. I think confidence has been a hard one for me. Just in terms of being able to recover from a mistake. What I found is in soccer you're not on the ball all the time, so it's really hard for me. Like I'll make a mistake and then you got to get back on defense, but there's a lot of period of time where you're not on the ball again. So you're kind of, it's easy to get in your head about, gosh, I messed up. I'm going to do it again. And like you kind of start doubting yourself. So I've been learning to try to like reset after every mistake I make, and continue to keep myself confident, like as I play, which is definitely something I'm still working on. It has been very difficult for me. Oh yeah. No, I think a lot of, I mean, if there's been times where I've lost my composure, definitely, especially playing soccer. I think in the heat of the moment you can get very like excited, especially me personally, get very passionate about the game. So there's been times where I've kind of lost my composure, but um, yeah, just being able to like, especially in high pressure moments like at tournaments or whatever, so it's really taught me how to you know keep my cool and try to be as like calm as possible or as calm as you can be in those moments. Um, yeah, I think I've been able to, especially I think with stress through like playing these games, like being able to stay calm through those helped me with other stressful times, like maybe like some sort of interview or test and stuff like that. Being able to like regulate myself and kind of bring my stress levels down, just because I've had to do that for so many soccer games. So yeah, I think it's been helpful in that regard. Yeah, I mean, with my position, I play as a winger, especially in my team. It's a very fun position, I'd say, because you get to do a lot of the creativity. So I think a lot of the defensive midfield, you don't get a lot of freedom because if you make a mistake, they score a goal, right? If your defense loses the ball, they're attacking on you. So, but as a forward, you get a lot more space and time to create, and that's just your job. So I think it's a lot of fun for me personally, just being able to have the ability to make a mistake and being less consequential. But yeah, I think attacking and creating chances is always been a struggle for my club or my at least my team for the past like year or two. Yeah, I mean me, I feel like I'm pretty aggressive whenever it gets to in front of the goal. So um, that's just helped me like making a tackle in a dangerous area, in like the final third, can help lead to a goal. So I think just being very aggressive is something that's helped me a lot in terms of creating those chances and being successful in the final third. Um, yeah, yeah. I mean, I think last year around May we had a tournament in Maryland, and one of the games I played, it was the game where like we've had the most college scouts at a game. That was the most scouts that have been in a game ever. For me personally, I think there was like 80 something that came. But yeah, it was a big game, and I ended up doing very well. I scored 2 goals. This is one of my better games I think in my life. But I think that was really just a good game for me in terms of giving myself the confidence, to know that like I kind of belong or that I'm like good enough to play at the level that I am. I think for a while, like not being a consistent starter was really like hard for me to build up the confidence, and kind of believe in myself. But I think after that game, like I was definitely more confident in my own abilities, especially like in these big moments. Like we're playing against a good team, it's a competitive tournament, and being able to perform and deliver did a lot of good things for my confidence, I think, and believing in myself. Yeah, I mean, I used to not. So up until probably late sophomore year, early junior year, I was on a much less competitive team. So I'd show up to practice whenever I wanted. Like if I didn't feel good or I didn't really want to go, I'd just skip a day, and no one really cared. They'd still play me like a lot. But I think as I transitioned to more serious environments and serious teams, I like kind of understood or yeah, as I transitioned to more serious teams, and with more competition for every team, I think I learned the importance of like showing up every day, especially um, in terms of development and improving. Over the past year, like I feel like I've really gotten better in specific things that like I've set out to get better at just by every day when I go to practice, like I'm going to work on this specific thing. Like I want to get better at this. Be more mindful and showing up every day, I think has really helped me just you know improve as well as kind of become more disciplined. So I think, you know, as I look to other areas of my life, I've like tried to implement that as well. Trying to be like more present and more intentional with my time, not just kind of showing up just to show up, but really like thinking about what I'm doing and looking into like how I can improve. So yeah, I've really become more disciplined over the past 2 years because like my current team, if you don't show up, you don't play. So that really helped, but also I think just the culture of hardworking people that are there has helped me kind of become more disciplined myself. I think a lot of the collaboration aspects of soccer has been really helpful. I mean, yeah, really, even past 11 players, like we'll take 18, we'll have more, maybe even 22 technically on our team at any given moment. And everyone needs to be doing their job for you to become a successful team. Um, and I mean, what I've learned through being through all of these teams is that, like, it's a lot easier to succeed as a team if you really like each other. Like the teams that I've been on that have been the most successful have been like the closest. Like we'll hang out outside of soccer practice and we'll like really get along. Like want to spend time with each other. Um, Versus teams where it's more like you're here to do. So it feels almost like a requirement, or like a job, or like you're showing up because you have to play. Like the teams where you're on, where everyone's showing up because they want to be there and they like their teammates. I think is a lot better way to succeed. And I think yeah, really what I've learned from being part of some of these teams is that you need everybody from the first person who plays every game to someone who occasionally comes along in the like the last 10 minutes. You need everyone to be playing at their best and ready to perform. So really looking out for each other, making sure everybody's doing okay, everybody's ready to go. Um, yeah, it's been something like I think I found is really helpful, which is honestly a little bit surprising. I think a lot of people expect it's just about like a few big stars, but really like two or three good players don't mean anything if you have the other 10 plus players of your team are just like not into it. They don't really want to be there. They're unhappy or whatever. It's not going to be a successful team. I want to say like we started off with a lot of talent. 10 seniors, all very good. The people have been playing for all of high school. Um, so it always helps to have a good team, but also we're very close. Like we've all been, a lot of us have been going to school together for 7 years. We know each other very well. We're willing to like really fight for each other and work hard. So I think yeah, like our camaraderie as well in combination with like talent and kind of like hard work, I'd say, kind of made us go pretty far. But I think the biggest thing was probably us being really close and as a team, like pushing each other to be better, and then also working for each other. Um, yeah, I mean, I really wish we could have gone farther than we did, but I think we did a nice run. I had a lot of fun playing this year. I think um, it kind of reminded me why I like the sport a lot. I think sometimes I can get caught up in like you know I'm not playing enough or whatever this like I need to score more or whatever like that. It's caught up in those little things and I kind of forget like why I love playing soccer, which is kind of the people I'm playing with. And I think this year is the most fun I've had playing in a while. Um, and it's it's not necessarily the most competitive environment that I've been in, but it's been a lot of fun and yeah, I've really enjoyed our run. Yeah, it was pretty sad when it ended, but yeah. Um, yeah, I mean, college soccer, I think like freshman sophomore year, the way my parents did it at least was kind of like a kind of a far off thing. Um, I was ready to apply to colleges normally up until like the second half of junior year. Um, that was like, yeah, my parents didn't have a lot of faith in me, I think. And it's hard to tell. The whole recruiting process is kind of just a whole different thing. But yeah, up until like late junior year, I was ready to just apply normally to schools, not not play soccer. Um, but I think as I went further into the process and I kind of started getting more interest, I can realize that it'd be more possible for me to play in college at somewhere that I'd really want to go to. I think that was the big hang up for my parents, like not necessarily like if I could play, but is this somewhere that like their big thing was they didn't want me to play soccer at a school that I wouldn't go to normally, if that makes sense. Which is completely fair, and I agree um, with that kind of thought process. Um, but yeah, I think right around junior year, maybe January, February, is when I started having like calls with coaches and everything. I started getting like more interest. I started, like I can actually do this. Like I'm gonna be able to go somewhere that I, really want to go. And yeah, like from there on out, uh, everything kind of fell into place. I think. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think for me, in the times that I've been the most stressed between like academics and soccer is just being as like efficient or mindful as possible as I can with my time. Um, when I get really stressed and when I have a lot of stuff to do, um, what I try to do is just spend as little time possible doing nothing. It's like I'll put my phone like away until I get everything done. But I don't know. I try to spend every second I can when I get really swamped working on something. Um, and like, of course, when I have a lighter load or whatever, I'll just I can goof around. But yeah, I mean, I personally haven't had a super hard struggle with getting all my work done. I think I've always been able to kind of find a way to get everything done. There's definitely been moments where I was very stressed. I think especially during we have tournaments where we're traveling and I'm missing a lot of school. That's a lot harder. I always say like I'm gonna study for this test on my tournament, but there's just no way I'm doing that when my teammates like my roommates goofing around during like our trip. Like there's no way I'm gonna be able to focus, write an essay when my teammates are like playing FIFA in the same room. It's very difficult for me to get work done on trips. So usually when I come back from those, I'm super behind. But I mean, everyone here has been really, really helpful in terms of being accommodating and allowing me to have the space I need to kind of get everything done. But yeah, I think going into college it will become more of a struggle, just because there's more work, more time um, gone to soccer. But we'll see how I handle it. I think Chris has done a pretty good job of like preparing me. It's pretty rigorous, so yeah. I think without soccer, I'd be a very different person. Like I think I'd be very much more introverted. I'd be very bad at talking to people. Not that I'm like amazing at talking to people. I'd be very hard time like interacting with people. I think a lot of my socialization and like people skills have come from me playing soccer for so long and just being having to interact with people. So So I think that's a big thing. But then also, I think thinking forward to maybe the workplace, again, being able to collaborate and kind of bridge gaps with people who think differently or come from a different background is a skill that I'll be really, trying to take forward as I look forward and think about working. So I taught me a lot about discipline. I've spent a lot of time like not only in team practices but also practicing on my own and kind of I've been not forced, but I've been encouraged to spend time on my own outside of practice. Working on my individual things, and I think a lot of what I've learned is being able to assess myself, look at where am I lacking, or even talk to other people to see in what areas can I improve, and then going out and actually executing on that, and working on the stuff that I'm maybe not as good at or really struggling with. And so I think that just as a human is very helpful. Whether it's like a professional skill or maybe time management or even like socially, um, being able to like reflect and take feedback and being able to actually improve on that is a skill that I think will be very useful going forward.